Welcome into the Week 15 Fantasy Recap. We are done with the semifinals. We are moving into the championship weekend. Most everyone, I should say, has a meaningful game this week, whether it's the championship or not. So pay attention because you got a meaningful game these next 2 weeks here, weeks 16 and 17. And we'll move into redraft for the recap. So, number 2, Leftist Tears defeats number 4, Dynasty Virginia, 266.28 to 256.66. It all came down to the final day. A previously unscheduled duo of Tuesday night games that only came into play after COVID ran rampant through the NFL this week. That Tuesday night saw the final lead change of this fantasy game, with Cooper Kupp continuing his top-tier production and scoring many more points than Miles Sanders, who still had a great game. That great game from Miles Sanders didn't prove enough for Dynasty Virginia, though, and they will be relegated to the third-place game. For Leftist Tears, Mark Andrews ended up being one of the key pieces to this game, totaling 48.35 points over the 2 weeks of the game and securing Leftist Tears' spot in the championship. Number 1, no pun intended, defeats number 3, Nicos League, 256.73 to 226.11. No pun intended holds the lead despite scoring less than their opponent this week. In a low-scoring week all around, Deebo Samuel and James Robinson are big factors for MPI, even though they only scored around 15 points each for the final week of this fantasy game. For Nicos League, the wide receiver play leaves much to be desired, with CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, and Mike Williams totaling 13.8 points combined. Travis Kelce almost saved the day with a miraculous fourth quarter of the Thursday night game, but his 33.6 points couldn't make up for the underperformances elsewhere. Nicos League will be demoted to the third-place game, and no pun intended, will meet their rivals in the championship. Number 7, Scoob Delinquent defeats number 6, Gumpy Glizzies, 221.8 to 177.16. In this very low-scoring affair, Scoob Delinquent pulls away and eases past Gumpy Glizzies to keep themselves safe from the lake. Jonathan Taylor proves big, scoring 23 points in Week 15 after having an unfortunate Week 14 bye. Christian Kirk also surprises for Scoob, hauling in 9 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown, and the Cardinals lost to the Lions this week. For Gumpy Glizzies, a date with the last place game awaits and a potential lake jump upcoming. The preview for Week 16 and 17. So 2-week games, Week 16, 17. The championship game, number 1, no pun intended, versus number 2, Leftist Tears. The biggest rivalry in the entire league takes center stage for the second time in 6 years to battle for the trophy. Expect fireworks. The third-place game, number 3, Nicos League versus number 4, Dynasty Recap. This battle will decide who takes home the third-place cash and who ends the season with nothing. In terms of the money difference, it's more important than the championship game. And the last-place game, number 6, Gumpy Glizzies versus number 8, Washington Rednecks. The battle for the lake is upon us. Last place game, toilet bowl, sacco bowl, call it whatever you want, but the outcome stays the same. Loser jumps. Moving into the Dynasty Recap. Number 1, Prestige Worldwide, defeats number 2, Nico's Dream Team, 287.81 to 169.04. Pure domination. Nothing else really needs to be said. Nico's Dream Team comes up way short in the semifinals after having a really good season. Prestige Worldwide obliterates the competition with a huge 2-week performance from the leading league wide receiver, Cooper Kupp. But the second week wasn't even needed. Had Prestige Worldwide not started anyone in the second week of this game, they still would have made their way to the championship, winning by a healthy 8-point margin. For the team that plays against them in the championship, it'll be a steep mountain to climb, though. Number 4, I Am They defeats number 3, Cumber Dynasty, 268.02 to 251.82. I Am They completes the comeback, overcoming a 22.85 point Week 1 deficit to comfortably win by over 15 points. Travis Kelce and Brandon Cooks lead the way in Week 15, helping I Am They to the highest scoring Week 15 in the entire league, and by a substantial margin. The result of this semifinal means we will not have a back-to-back champion, as the reigning trophy holder Cumber Dynasty is demoted to the third-place game. I Am They will take the spot in the championship, the second of this kind to be against their rivals. Number 6, Stratton Oakmont Inc. defeats number 7, the Scoob Empire, 250.08 to 249.89. In one of the slimmest margins the league has ever seen, Stratton Oakmont Inc. pulls off a shocker on Tuesday night to squeak by the Scoob Empire by 0.19 points. Add the fact that it was a 2-week game, and that 0.19 seems even slimmer than it is. Stratton Oakmont Inc. steers clear of the last place game, and in turn the lake. The Scoob Empire will take the spot in the last place game, which is these next 2 weeks to decide the lake jumper. Our weeks 16 and 17 preview. So one game, weeks 16 and 17. The championship game. Number 1, Prestige Worldwide versus number 4, I and They. Don't check the YouTube timestamp. I assure you, you didn't actually accidentally skip back to the redraft recap. If you're feeling like it's deja vu, fear not. It's just the same exact championship game. Both trophies, both rivals, with one ultimate goal: win the first double championship in league history. The third place game. Number 2, Nicos Dream Team versus number 3, Comer Dynasty. The semifinal losers get this consolation at least, the chance to increase their payouts by winning the third place game. After the tough loss for Nicos Dream Team, they'll be looking to bounce back for the final game of the season. The fifth place game. Number 5, Sneezy Raccoon 74 versus number 6, Stratton Oakmont Inc. While they would have wanted it to be in the championship game, this heated rivalry comes to the fifth place game this year. Winner takes home the third overall pick in the upcoming rookie draft. Loser gets fourth. And finally, the last place game. Number 7, the Scoob Empire versus number 8, Gov Dynasty. This year's last place game is a familiar one, with both of these teams very familiar with winter lake life. With the jump so fresh in their minds, this game should be a heated battle to not endure that trauma again. Alright. It has been wonderful. Wonderful season. This is likely, I don't think we'll have another audio recap at least for this season, so this is likely the last audio recap of the year. Great season, everyone, no matter what happens in these next few games. Look forward to getting back to things next year, and hopefully some of the teams that couldn't get very far this year maybe pick it up next year and win a championship or get their name on the trophy at least, or something like that. So we will see you probably next year. Peace.